Human respiratory system. It consists of nose, nasal cavity, trachea, bronchi, lungs and diaphragm. As I have mentioned already, the human respiratory system consists of nose, nasal passages, trachea, bronchi, lungs and diaphragm. To understand the anatomy of the human respiratory system, let us see the diagram. So let's begin from the nose. Nose has the two holes which are called nostrils. Next to the nose is the nasal passage. The passage just behind the nostril is called the nasal passage or the nasal cavity. It is separated from the buccal cavity by a hard bony palate so that we can breathe in air during we eat food. It has hairs and mucus to trap dust particles so that the clean air goes into the lungs. Just below the nasal cavity or the nasal passage, you can see a pipe-like structure which is known as trachea. It is also known as windpipe. It has rings of cartilage to prevent collapse when there is no air in it. The upper end of it has a voice box called larynx. The larynx runs down the neck and divides into two smaller tubes called bronchi. The two bronchi are connected to two lungs. Each branches divides in the lungs to form a large number of smaller tubes called bronchioles. These bronchioles have tiny air sacs at their ends called alveoli. The lungs lie in the chest cavity, which is separated from the abdominal cavity by a muscular partition called diaphragm. There are two lungs in the human respiratory system, the left lungs and the right lungs. It is covered by two thin membranes called pleura. The lungs are enclosed in the rib cage. So this is all about the structure of human respiratory system. See the diagram to understand it clearly. In biology, diagram plays an important role. Once you understand the diagram, you will remember the concept forever. The air for respiration is drawn into our body through nostrils, sometimes through buccal cavity also. Then it goes into nasal passage. From nasal passage, air enters into pharynx and then goes into the trachea. From trachea, it reaches the lungs through the bronchi. In the lungs, exchange of the gases takes place at the alveoli. From the alveoli, oxygen is taken into the body and carbon dioxide is eliminated. There are millions of alveoli in the lungs. The diaphragm helps in breathing in and breathing out. When we breathe in, the diaphragm and muscle attached to the rib contract, due to which chest cavity expands, which increases the volume inside the chest cavity, and air rushes into the lungs through the nostrils, trachea and bronchi. The alveoli are surrounded by blood capillaries, so the oxygen diffuses out from the alveolus wall into the blood, which is carried to different body parts by the hemoglobin present in the blood. On the other hand, due to respiration in the cell, carbon dioxide is produced as a waste product. It diffuses into the blood from the tissues, and blood carries it back to the lungs, where it again diffuses into the alveoli. When we breathe out, the diaphragm and the chest muscle relax, due to which chest cavity contracts and becomes smaller. This in turn presses out carbon dioxide from the alveoli to the lungs, into the trachea, nostrils and then out of the body into the air. In this way, gases exchange is completed in the human respiratory system. So this is all about the functioning of the human respiratory system. I hope you understand it clearly. Thank you for watching my video. See you next time.